Hello, and welcome back to Distant Worlds 2. We're continuing our playthrough as the Teekan, and we are attempting to reposition our fleets so that we can go to war with the Boskarans. So that is more or less working, with some exception. We definitely have a shortage of hexadorium, which is required for a lot of our ships. Although we do have a fairly large stockpile on hand, is definitely preventing some of the growth and development of our fleet. Retrofittings having a little bit of a hard time, so we just kind of have to wait it out, unfortunately. But we do have some cash on hand, a lot of cash on hand, and positive cash flow, which is, historically been pretty rare for us. So looking at funding levels, we are almost caught up on colony growth, which is just going to make things better and better. Research is over what we actually need, so I could actually maybe dump a little more of that into colony growth for now. I don't really want virtually any excess. I do want enough, but I don't want excess. I'd rather it all go into colony growth, because the more pop we have, the more taxes we get. The more taxes we get, the better we are. So reputation is still recovering from independent colonies invaded, which is just insane to me how long that is taking to recover. But that's fine. We have the time while our ships are retrofitting and maneuvering. We're at 9.5 million military strength. Our troop attack strength has been relatively stagnant at like 588,000, but I imagine that will grow as we start to actually go to war and whatnot. These guys are all just like out of fuel, so I feel like we gotta maybe stop for a second and go refuel real quick at a closer planet. Seems to make a little sense to me. So let's go over there first. I really want to get that tech where I could just generate fuel, and then I don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. But in the meantime, I'm guessing these guys... Oh, they're all in the fleet. They're actually surprisingly nearby. Well, I think it's easier to limp over there to get refueled than it is to try to fly all the way up there before engaging in any sort of combat. So we are working on mega capital ships now, which will give the heavy battleship, which is more retrofitting we're gonna have to do. Hopefully that'll go okay, not too promising. And we have enhanced terraforming starting, so the sooner we get that type of tech done, the better off we're gonna be. Colossal construction is within striking distance. That would be nice to be able to get all that. Still a fair amount of other techs to do. In particular, I would love to get slap heavy bomber in the queue. We're not really using assault pods, but it wouldn't hurt to have them in there. Superior attack shuttles would be nice. Immediate maneuvering, even though we have the super ones, we don't have the recurring techs, and ultimately the recurring techs are going to make the biggest difference. So, oh, that is actually only 1 year to do the improved field strength and improved recharge. So we are definitely going to go ahead and do that. Let's queue this up as well. I'm sure there's other techs over here that we would benefit from that are relatively inexpensive. So let's go ahead and do that. Extreme mass drivers would be a good upgrade for our planetary bombardment stuff. So we should probably put some effort into that. Super singularity. Black hole projector X would be only 1 year, and that would be a nice upgrade from what we currently have, which is a very lower end tech in that line. Super torpedo doesn't seem... I mean, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's good. Um, we'll add to the queue because it's only a year, but ultimately the recurring text will be better. So that might just get us by for a while. Definitely don't mind focusing on some weapon techs. I feel like we're probably a little behind in those. So it would be good to get those going. No defensive packs. I don't want to get dragged into a war yet. A war that I, didn't start. All right, we are limping along over here to refuel. I would really like to see these guys refuel. So I have 4 large fuel tankers per fleet, plus about 20 random fuel tankers that have no particular rhyme or reason. And I still feel like I'm running out of fuel often. I was kind of hoping the AI would be a little more on the ball there. Yeah, I have 72 fuel tankers. They're all full, but for whatever reason, a bunch of them have no mission. I would think they should fly around and start refueling pretty much any ship that's out of fuel that's limping along somewhere. Like, that would be the priority in my brain, how it would work, but I don't think that's exactly how it actually works. Go ahead and take a look at our planets. Let's filter it by required terraforming. Looks like we got a couple that still require it. Might as well knock those out while we have some excess money kicking around. Certainly not going to hurt anything by doing it. We'll ultimately probably have to do it again, I imagine. This planet is insane. I don't know how it has this much stuff queued up. I think it's retrofitting a lot of what you call it, ships, civilian ships. So I don't want to like cancel it or anything. You know, I want them to go through and retrofit, but it's gonna take forever. This planet's queue is never gonna see a low volume. If we look at wait time, yeah, look at that, 39,000 seconds. So, you know, rip your queue for the rest of eternity. It might get better as the planet actually gains population, preferably the correct type of population. Man, we are still salvaging a bunch of random stuff. What we should do, which by the way, we're back to 0, so let's get this back up a little bit. We should be buying, like, converting prisoners. So is anybody, like, you look pretty good. You're terrible. You could stay there. You look really good. I mean, we got money. We got to use it for something. We've already bought a bunch of planets and pretty much as many mining stations and everything that we can. You know, that isn't bad. Little glass cannon on this guy. Weapon increase, but a lower shield recharge. A little expensive for each attempt, but that's, 500,000 and we end up with a really good admiral. Not the worst thing in the world. You are solid. And that was pretty cheap, actually. Get some generals, especially ones that have positive traits. Come on. Crazy how, like, I don't know if there's a percentage chance that's consistent, or like the better they are, the harder it is to recruit, but I feel like sometimes really good ones recruit quickly, and sometimes mediocre ones take forever to recruit. It isn't bad. I don't like the ground attack strength being a negative, but the other stuff is really positive, so maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing. So I say non-spies, yet here is a spy. bad spy. Okay. I think these are just in the wrong order. Like, I think non-spies is actually all, and all is leader, and leader is ambassador. As we look at ambassador, it actually shows admirals. Look at admirals, it actually shows generals. So I think this menu is like shifted by one. I'll have to report that as a little bit of a bug. All right, how we doing here? One of these fleets I had fueling. AFO2. Looks like for the most part it did refuel. Except for, you know, some random ships. But that's kind of to be expected. Alright, are we in a decent spot to declare a war? Or are we still kind of figuring stuff out over here? I know we still have these guys down here. I don't exactly know what's going on with them. Where are you at? Alright, so that guy's just limping along. Hey, we got some research boost. That's always a good thing. We now have 22 spies, which is insane to me. I am gonna go back and start spying again, so I'm gonna skip ahead here and not waste your time having to watch me click through all the menus. But I'm gonna distribute all my spies and put them to work. All right, my spies have been scattered about, and pausing kind of let the game catch up a little bit too, which is always a good thing. So hopefully we'll be seeing some progress there relatively soon. We have some ships being built. If we look at the construction queue, still a lot of state ships under construction, fair amount of civilian ships under construction. I imagine that's going to get probably worse before it gets better as we discover these new techs. We do have a research bonus right now, so that is, I guess, working in our favor depending on how you look at it. Now, these ships, or these fleets, I should say, AFO3 and AFO4, I feel like I need to manually move them where they need to go, because they are not actually going to this planet where they should be going. I'm going to issue a command to stop because I feel like they're not actually doing what they're supposed to be doing here. Let's just head up over in this direction. I know they're saying they're going to repair. I feel like they're not really doing it the right way. Do I have any ships that aren't in a fleet that are of another species? Because I would love to break them down if that's the case. Sort of. It's being built. Alright, nothing that is worth anything. No new techs anyway. I wouldn't get any new techs out of them, so. Unfortunately, not really worth it. I would love to take a look at some of these guys' ships. This is the Kantaris Horde. I want to take a look at this. If they have any techs that are interesting to me. No, I actually feel like they have worse techs in some regards, which may very well work in my favor. Let's look at these guys. Yeah, they're fixating on these Megatron shields, which are not that great. I mean, they're faster recharge rates, I think, but they have less across the board. So I actually feel like we're ahead in tech a little bit if you look at the actual functionality of the tech. You are going to attack a planet. Fairly powerful. Yeah, again, the heavy ion cannons are pretty significant for disabling parts of ships. Missile batteries are kind of weak, but it's PD. So they're really heavy ion cannons. They're big. their big weapon, and I think I have ion defense on a lot of my ships. Maybe not on everything, but on a fair amount. All right, so everything has terraforming. We don't have to worry about that right now. If we take a look at our maintenance, we can see these are all ship maintenance. 5,300 private sector ships. Economy wise, private sector's crushing it like they always do. Facility maintenance is costing 1486 per year, and it was 1215, so that's gone up. That will go down as those terraforming facilities finish and we're able to get rid of them. Although the AI might be building other buildings, that is increasing the price as well. We also see ship and base maintenance has gone up. Group maintenance has gone up. Pretty much everything's gone up across the board. Although ship building and ship recruitment and facility building seems to have gone down to some extent. That's projected. That's like what it will be. We'll have to see what it actually is here. All right, everything looks like it's going fairly well so far. Let's take a quick gander at what were we gonna look at? There was something specifically I was gonna take a look at. It was budget related. Here we're still a little bit over budget. Kazarian Collective got something from the Kantaris Horde. All right, we're creeping back up to not quite to the cap, but we're getting there, which must mean our reputation is slowly but surely improving. I will be sure to tank that as soon as possible. I really want that enhanced terraforming. Like that would be really good because that would help improve my economy by improving all of my existing planets. Which is great because we're kind of at that stage of the game where we're not growing outward anymore, so we really need to improve inward. All right, fleets are moving. Yeah, we're flying around just scooping up people everywhere. I am very nervous about something like this, although a lot of these fleets are pretty tiny. I mean, that one's pretty sizable, but a lot of the other fleets are pretty tiny, at least compared to mine. I'm hoping these guys will finish scooping up as many troops as they can and head to where I need them to be, which is over in this general area. They got to be ready to invade planets. This somehow appears to be their capital, which seems insane to me. I mean, Ekdaria is a really good planet. I would love to take this. That would really throw a wrench in their economy. That's a massive amount of money. That might be the first system we go for, to be honest. A lot of the stuff up here is defense, because I know the pattern of them attacking up in this area, which is probably where the AI will send them pretty much right away, which is why I don't really love the idea of just invasion fleets being up here. Like, I want more defensive fleets heading up in that direction. All right, mega capital ships is done. I would love to be able to build a big old spaceport here, but it appears I am still missing Hexadorium. Actually, this planet is the sizable one in the system. If I build anything, I should build it here. Can't I queue it up at least? I mean, that would be nice. I can queue it up even though I can't build it, just so the game knows I want to build it. Apparently we're retrofitting the carriers over here. Ooh, research breakthrough. That doesn't happen too often anymore. Successfully getting dimensional plasma. Mission completed. Stealth operations. Okay, so dimensional plasma and stealth operations. We already had stealth operations queued. Dimensional plasma, I'm not even sure where that's at. Here it is. That's actually pretty good. We definitely have more spies still waiting to finish their missions. There we go. We got stealth operations and dimensional plasma. We still have pure energy surge. Something going on there. So where is superior energy surge? I don't know where that's at on the list here. Is that a weapon tech? I suppose if we notice that we successfully steal some of it, we can look for it. All right, Fierce Guild, not too happy with us, I imagine. Go ahead and have a little chat with them. Hey, sorry, we spied a lot on you, but let's show you some special locations, and you'll give us all our spies back, and we'll just send them right back to you again. How's that sound? Seems like they are good with that. All right, some of this construction looks like it is finishing up. I'm hesitant to go 2x or faster than that just because I feel the game starts like skipping stuff then and then catching up later on, and that it gets a little wonky, I think, at some points. All right, we want tech always to be maxed out. So let's go ahead and flex a little bit of spending because it seems to be trending downward for some reason. I don't really understand that because our reputation is getting better over time. We have no warrioriness. Our income is increasing. Our population's increasing. We got multiple docking bays, multiple construction yards. We do seem to be a little low on some resources, but nothing too crazy. These retrofits are definitely helping my military strength. It's up to 10.5 mil. All my invasion fleets are more or less in place. So at this point, I'm just waiting for my actual fleets to finish. You're going up to here. Let's refuel you at the planet. Plenty of Kazlan there. Alright, well, this is going to be the only station over here, so let's go ahead and plan on refueling. And maybe a little repairing queued up after that. Although, like I said, this is running a little bit low on Kazlan. Not completely. Alright, you're like stuck off in La La Land here. I mean, at this point, I'm just gonna have you leave the fleet. Same with you. And I'll just build some new ones. And then if they ever sort their way out, we'll be good. We'll flip you back to attack. We'll flip you back to attack. Hopefully you will automatically head to your assigned planet. Particularly after you are done. Oh, a little research breakthrough there. Very nice. I think it's an older tech, though. I don't think it does us much good. Alright, so our attack fleet is headed up to where it needs to go. This guy, not so much. But I think that's because it was just being built. Yeah, you still got a decent amount of stuff queued up here. Not terrible, but it is a fair amount. We are about to get improved habitability, which is going to drastically cost us a lot of money. We're going to spend a good chunk of this and probably go in the red again, unfortunately, for a period of time. Our reputation is almost back to nothing, which I will take any day of the week. That should really help our economy overall. Our population growth is kind of slowed down. I think it's because most of our planets are maxed out. So as we get better tech to terraform, that's going to increase our population caps, which is going to in turn allow us to grow a larger population. So that'll be all good stuff. I'm trying to think if I need to. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go ahead and pause and start flipping my spies around and get them going, just so I can get more tech, because tech's super important. All right, so that's done. We have that going. There's really not that many techs left for me to try to steal once I get these last three, and that includes other players. So we'll see where we go from there. All right, so we got some fleets piled up over here. I really want to like hamper their invasion fleets more than anything. I would really like to take this capital planet. Okay, so that is its radius once it's where it needs to be, but right now it's not there. It's still retrofitting all these heavy carriers. All right, we are making some progress towards completing these retrofits. It takes so long. Let's go ahead and take a quick gander at our money. Yeah, we're definitely overspending there, so let's go ahead, pump a little back into here. Colony growth. Apparently we are recruiting more troops. Yeah, wow, we actually recruited a fair amount. Looks like we're pretty much as full as we're gonna get with these troop transports. So at this point, it's just a waiting game. Seems like overall we're doing pretty well on retrofitting. This planet has grown a little. Still doesn't have the right type of population on there, at least not the type I would want on this type of planet. Marshy swamps should be primarily Hakonish. Oh, we actually got some progress there. I'm guessing that tech's actually done because we waited 3 days. 1, 2, 3, and it still says 3 days. So I bet you if I pause long enough, it's gonna. Yep, there it goes. It completed. Let's look at the queue for the next tech and see how long that's gonna take, because it'd be nice to plow through as much of that tech as possible. 10 years, that's a long time. I don't think that's gonna happen quite yet. These are expensive, but I'm gonna add them to the queue just because we could probably crash them for like 2 years. That would be pretty good. Commerce would be good as well. Although, yeah, like all this stuff would be really, really good to get done. It would just improve everything across the board. Advanced research, probably need to get that in the queue really soon, because that should go to the top of the list. It would make everything else go way quicker. I have been sleeping on that way too long. So maybe after this next tech, I will go ahead and add that to the queue, bump it to the top. That will help all other future techs happen quicker. Now, what I need to do is go to my colonies and go to requires terraforming. And we're going to sort by revenue. And we are just going to build ourselves a little terraforming facility everywhere we can. Everywhere that makes sense. Definitely the low-hanging fruit. The thing that sucks about doing this is, like, I have to pay for this twice now. And I would really prefer not to. Because I already paid to build the building once. And all the monthly maintenance. I would have preferred just to do it one time and be done with it. But alas, here we are. Ah, Thyphira is becoming a positive planet. That's good. Now, one good thing is I'm pretty sure the population, as terraforming happens, like it's not just once it gets to 15%. Like every tick, the population goes up as well. So it's not like you have to wait till it completes. It's like progressive as time goes on, which is good. Probably good on this for now. I mean, we did most of our planets that are making sizable income. We'll have to, wait for that to complete, but that's a fairly decent amount. It's definitely going to increase the cost. I think we're going to be spending a lot more money on facility maintenance for a while. Let's check all. I want to look at this planet's population. Yeah, it's like maintaining that maximum, but it's growing. You go from 93 to 95, 95 to 97, but like the population is growing at the same speed at which we're increasing it. So that's just going to help our finances over time. All right, looks like we did manage to get phased energy, which is good. How's the old construction going here? Looks like Igarulin is wrapping up some of its retrofitting here. Hey, we got a couple spies dismissed, but we got gravitic distortion. That's good. All right, are all of our spies done? They are not. So there's still a chance. Hey, look at that. Hyperspace path slicing. That's really good. I would really love to get that tech. Yeah, I'll make that trade. That's fair enough. All right, so how much progress did we make on that tech? I also still think that black hole is even better. Oh, crap, we got it. That's awesome, because that is an in-place upgrade for our current torrent drives. And that was just like a free tech. That's awesome. I really do have to invest a little bit in there's that gravitic distortion field. But we're getting the super singularity, which is going to be a massive AoE. We need to get a lot of these techs done. But first we got to get that research tech. I'm not keen on defensive pact. Just because I don't want to go to war with anybody other than the people I want to declare war with right now. Let's go ahead and talk to our pirate friends and see what we can do about getting our spies back. Less spies this time. It doesn't feel like a good thing. I'm pretty sure roughly the same amount got caught. I do know some got dismissed. Yeah, we lost 2 spies. Hopefully nobody like really good. I'm guessing not. Do we even have... Yeah, we still have a tech to steal here. I'm just going to go ahead and click through real quick. Throw a couple people on it, just on the off chance we're able to get it. I'm not even going to... I don't think I'm going to send my entire spy fleet. We'll just send like 6 or 7 people. That should be good enough to at least make some progress on it. Do I not have it configured to auto crash course. I was pretty sure I did. They do. They're not actually doing it. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's 1.5 mil. That's not really that much in the scheme of the amount of money I have right now. How is our economy doing overall, by the way? Kind of declining. EBH. Our income's actually going up, but all this maintenance is really starting to pile up. This actually, we're overspending there. Heavy bomber should be done relatively soon. And then I'm going to pop that research tech in there and crash course it to maximize getting it done in like 2.5 years. That will make every other tech go way quicker. Should have done that a while ago, I think, at this point. But oh well, you live, you learn. All right, let's take a look at how ship construction's going. Looks like we're pretty much caught up on everything, give or take. A couple tiny things here, but nothing too crazy. I think at least all of our fleets, for the most part, are done. Maybe not this guy. Where's he at? 80% construction, so it's almost done. He might be the last one. Until we, retrofit everything again, and then it is no longer the case. All right, 12 days away from getting heavy bombers. That is potentially a massive retrofit, which is going to increase our military ship strength again. Theoretically, anyway. We'll see what happens. Again, I feel like 12 days has already ticked by. So even though we're on 1x, it's still just having a hard time keeping up with everything, I think. So we're going to go ahead and pause it. Let the game catch up a tiny amount. While that's happening, let's hop over here and go to requires terraforming. Hop another couple planets in the queue here. There we go. Heavy bomber is done. Really, it's about the population. Like, this is the wrong population for some of those planets. I don't know why they're not moving as much as they should be, but I think that's definitely playing into it. Having the wrong species there. I mean, these guys are good, but why are they negative? Get that. Should be a pretty solid population. Oh well. All right, we are at 91 planets, which means that over 100 are currently terraforming or have been terraformed. All right, heavy bomber is done. Let's go ahead and hop in the ship design real quick here. Take a look at the bomber roll. Look at heavy bomber versus what we're currently using, which I think is a strike bomber. So we have a definite uptick in. Let me see what we're currently using. Yes, it is a strike bomber. So we look at heavy bomber versus strike bomber. We're at 26 and 36. This is a pretty big uptick to 30 and 48. So that's pretty huge. Maneuvering goes up a little bit as well. And mech size goes up a little bit as well, although that's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and just auto-generate a design there. We'll go ahead and swap what we need to because, it's not meeting the energy usage requirements. And I'm sure we're going to have to swap some of this stuff anyway. I don't know why it's so laggy right now. All right, let's do latest per category and family. I think a torpedo probably the right type of weapon for this. That is a bomber. Right, so torpedo's probably good. We could leave a missile on there as well. If we look at armor, reactive hex armor is probably our best bet. It's cheaper, which is kind of what I need. It has a little better rating, a little less ion defense, but that's all right. It's just a bomber. These infinite flux drives are probably the best. All right, bomber H1. Do I already have that? I don't know. Try to save it. Not sure why it's so laggy. Okay, so now we can obsolete the strike bomber. Makes this the bomber that will get built. And we should watch our military strength theoretically go up if it's an improvement, which I assume it is. Because all these ships are going to start redoing their bombers. We could probably see if we look here. We could already see that happening. Alright, so it wasn't a drastic shift, but it was a shift nonetheless. Alright, what are you doing? Where are you at? You're in Zeus. I think you're one of the only things getting retrofit or built over there. I did want to build, not that I need to wait to enter a war, but I did want to build over on this planet, I think. I wanted to build a station. Still don't have enough resources for it, so can't really do that right now. At least we have some defensive fleets, though. So that's good. Yet another planet with a ton of retrofitting ships. Not nearly as many as the other one, but, you know, still a fair amount. All right, diploma reputation, we're getting beneath -10 now, so that's also a great improvement. And research-wise, we got to bump this up. I need to get that research tech going. Let's go ahead and do that. Shift click to move it to the top of the queue. That is 11 million. Ouch. Well, we're going to do it anyway because we got to get that done. And that's going to help across the board. All right, well, I am going to go ahead and call it an episode there. Again, another episode where we didn't really get a lot accomplished necessarily, but we got some prep work done. We got all our fleets positioned. We spent a lot of money, but for good reason. Most of our planets are improving. Our population is going up. Everything is trending in the right direction because of the terraforming, which is just going to help us economically down the road. And I feel like we're in a really good place right now for the next episode to kind of start off with starting to move our fleets in towards the Beskarians and declare a formal war against them. And hopefully wipe at least a good portion of them off the map. I'd really like to get my territory all combined here. But I'd like to go after here, and wipe out as many of these systems as possible to consolidate my territory, and maybe even scoop in here and take some of these. That would be the ideal first war, but we'll have to see how the troops hold out, how the fleet holds out, how the war weariness holds out over time. But that's kind of the plan. Go ahead and pop over, look at the victory condition. A little worried about that. That hopped up really quick, so 63% versus 43%. I'm at 37%, so my hope is I can swoop in and start doing some damage. We got to do something about this Gazurian collective. I'm not really sure how we're going to handle that, but they're getting scarily close to victory, and I'd really like to make sure I prevent them from doing that. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, see more content in the future, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.